In the interview with Suraj Sharma, the aspect of a self-discovery is evident through the idea that when confronted with a challenge, we are also confronted with a range of physical and mental constraints that overall determine our current ability to overcome an obstacle. However, it is also in these experiences in which we can surprise ourselves. This point is evident in Sharma's case, as he explains that it was through the challenging journey of filming that he encountered a range of emotions that ultimately allowed him to develop both awareness and confidence in his mental and physical ability to overcome these challenges, which previously, through his mental thought process, constrained his ability. In the film Life of Pi, directed by Ang Lee, the concept of overcoming the mental and physical forces constraining an individual's capabilities is shown through Pi's ability to survive as a castaway from the shipwreck. In the film, Pi is initially portrayed as a well-educated, book-smart child, though his playful, charismatic character is shadowed by the attribute of his naivety that eventually leads him to danger, which Pi's father, Santosh, is quick to point out and dispel. The characteristics of Pi in the opening scenes are used to contrast the more resilient and well-versed character that Pi develops through his journey as a castaway. Specifically in the scene where Pi relaxes in his makeshift chair on the handicraft raft, the smug facial expression, the allusion to a king on a throne, and the crafty DIY-themed mise-en-scène of this shot emit a sense of confidence, maturity, and empowerment, which greatly contrast prior shots of Pi commonly from high angles, representing his insignificance and volatility to the surrounding forces. Furthermore, in the poem The Road Not Taken, written by Robert Frost, the concept of breaking your preconceived mental and physical abilities is contradicted with the speaker's inability, suggested by the doubtful tone, alluding to his weak mental strength. This is shown through the pessimistic tone and the subtle rhyming scheme of ABAAB, which does not add in any of the common upbeat, optimistic tone of poems with a definitive rhyme scheme, though is rather used to emphasize and promote the harsh-toned words, overall projecting an uncharacteristically rough poem. Within the poem, the weaknesses of the protagonist's mental strength is shown through the protagonist's doubt and indecisiveness when presented with a divergence in the path. This is shown in the use of pessimistic diction such as doubt and sigh. The weak mental capability contrasts the discovery of both Pi and Sharma's ability to grow from their experiences, feeling confident in both their abilities and constraints, which are seen not as a problem, though as an opportunity to develop. In the interview, the discovery of faith is a concept that is evident through the comparison Sharma makes of themes in the movie and their relevance to real life. Specifically, Sharma quotes that you just have to believe in yourself. Believe that something will come and pull you out of that. You just have to learn to let go of trying to control life. This quote shows the aspect of discovery, as Sharma has discovered throughout the movie that generally having faith in both yourself and a greater being, implied by the line, believe that something will come and pull you out of, is vital to remaining calm and collected through unnerving situations. In the film The Life of Pi, the aspect of discovering faith is shown through the elder Pi's narration on the movie. In the movie, the elder Pi's narration is a medium by which Lee conveys a mature viewpoint of Pi's journey, thus also providing a sense of validity. In the line shown on screen, the elder Pi uses the metaphor of the house, with many rooms, to show the challenge of maintaining faith through doubt, though also the usefulness of doubt in which faith is strengthened. The context of this line provides a theme of discovering faith through doubt, in which many of the following scenes can be linked to. For example, the scene in which Pi screams to the gods, surrendering himself in the storm, contrasts the latter scene of Pi finding the carnivorous island, oddly shaped as a lying Vishnu, overall referencing the recurring motive of religion's ever-presence, as well as providing a sense that Pi's faith has been reinforced. It is through this extract that the quote's truth is shown, though as well the point of religion's ever-presence, even in times of doubt, is enforced in the elder Pi's quote in the latter section of the movie, suggesting that God has purposely navigated Pi to the island in which he could replenish himself. Lastly, in the poem The Road Not Taken, the aspect of discovering faith is shown through the speaker's implied need for guidance from a greater being, which he does not receive. In the line shown on screen, both the diction and tone used suggest a cheerful, optimistic attitude, such as the suggestion of excitement through the use of an exclamation mark. As well as this, the line "I kept" suggests that the speaker chose his path confidently, which we know is not true. The juxtaposition of this optimistic tone with the pessimistic toned succeeding lines alludes to the speaker's insecurity. This insecurity thus suggests the self-discovery of the need for faith, for guidance from a greater being, as he has insecurities as an individual making his own decisions. In conclusion, the theme of discovery can be seen throughout old texts, and it is through the use of the aspects of discovering faith and overcoming both mental and physical constraints that I have been able to synthesize connections between the texts. Overall, it was through these connections that I was able to identify the range in which discoveries can be made. Thank you very much for listening.